This is Fritz, your senior traveler, narrating Sebastian visits the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. Independence Hall is in Philadelphia, one of America's greatest and largest cities, and an early capital for the new nation. Philadelphia was also where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Sebastian visited on a sunny day and could not believe how big the city was. He saw so many people and cars and buildings. On the way there, Sebastian traveled through Wilmington, Delaware. Cars moved very slowly because the roads were being fixed everywhere. Once Sebastian and his dad drove past the workers fixing the roads, they drove on high bridges and past a very large airport leading into Philadelphia. There were miles and miles of buildings where people were working and others where people were living. Once in Philadelphia, it was easy to find the Liberty Bell. Signs led Sebastian into the city and to Independence Hall, home to the Liberty Bell. Parking near Independence Hall was a problem, but Sebastian did not care. He was glad to finally see the greatest symbol of freedom and liberty in these United States. He and his dad were a little tired walking to the bell, but so excited to see living history. Independence Hall dates back to 1753, was where the Declaration of Independence was signed and the U.S. Constitution was signed 11 years later. Independence Hall was also home to the Continental Congress for many years. Sebastian found the bell across the street from Independence Hall at Liberty Bell Center. The center is a museum with displays of the history of the bell. At the far end of the center from the entrance, the Liberty Bell stood in all its glory. There was a line of people waiting to see the bell. It took about 30 minutes to get in the center, but to witness one of America's greatest symbols was worth the wait. To see the actual crack in the bell and be in the presence of living history took Sebastian's breath away. Leaving such a big city as Philadelphia was not easy or quick. They drove up a one-way street and down another for what appeared to be forever. Cars were everywhere and not always in lanes. Some streets seemed like alleys juggling cars, trucks, and buses. People were walking on both sides of the streets and crossing randomly where they wanted to cross. Sebastian thought people crossing this way could be dangerous. He thought this was a bad idea and people should cross on the corners and at the lights. Even though it took about 2 hours to find the highway leading out of Philadelphia, Sebastian thought the visit was the highlight of this adventure to see the Liberty Bells.